Hello everyone and welcome. Now yesterday we did a unboxing with Love From Lizi and we created the challenge card, and this is the challenge card. And there are just so many elements to this kit that we didn't even get a chance to touch. And so I took and stamped and heat embossed the stamp set, which I think I showed that on the video. I've got 2 copies of it, and we have got some, like a watercolor palette that is included with the kit, and that you can use to color your stamped image. It says Winsor and Newton, and it's Autumn Breeze Watercolor Palette. And to activate the palette, you just actually add some water to it. And so I've sped this up because I'm not really an expert watercolors, but we're going to have some fun with it. And I'm just going to use some water, a brush, and the palette, and just lay some color down on several of these images here. We'll do the floral swag. We're going to do the boy and the girl, and then we'll do one of the cats, and we're just going to get some color added to them. So this is Love From Lizi's Autumn Breeze October kit, and it is available October 1st. You can actually order it now, I think. Put your order in. I should say it will ship, I think, October 1st. And there's just lots of fun elements on it. If you didn't see yesterday's unboxing video, I'll try to link it up so you can check it out, where we made the challenge card. But I wanted to do the challenge card because Lizi had asked the team if anyone had done the challenge card yet, so she'd have one in the folder. And so I wanted to do that and get it ready for her. But then I thought today, there are just so many fun elements that I didn't get to play with yet. And so I thought I would just work with them and bring in the watercolor. We're still not even touching the ephemera on this video. Now, I will be up on the Love From Lizi channel the first Friday in October. I'm not sure what date that is without looking at the calendar, but I will be on her channel, and I will be showcasing several cards there as well. So you might, if you haven't subscribed to Love From Lizi, you might check out her channel, and you will see some of the design team working with the different elements of the kit. I just happen to do the first Friday of the month is when I will be up on the channel. So I am just using all of the colors in the palette here to just kind of create a scene, and just trying to add some different colors and a little shading. And I got a little bit wet here and there, and you'll see me take a paper towel and just kind of do some blotting, and I'll actually add ink as we go and change things as I feel like I need to. I didn't really have a great skin tone color there, and so I did kind of mix a couple of them to come up with that, but that was fine. Now, I certainly could have brought in some of my alcohol markers and added to it, but I was just trying to use the palette for the stamp set and just use the kit as it is. So we'll just get a bunch of color laid down, and I'm just kind of switching colors and wiping off that little rubber decorative piece that I have on my desk. That is actually for when you're making your wax seals. You can use that, but I've used it for a variety of things. I use it for a little puddle of glue. I throw some water on there. I've just used it for so many things. It's been really helpful. It's like a sticky, so it won't move around on your glass mat, and it just works out really well. You can pick that up at Hobby Lobby. Anyway, so I'm going to color in the cat. We're just going to have a kind of an orangish cat, and I'm going to get all my stuff put away. And then I remembered I wanted to add some watercolor to just these 2 strips of paper I have here. And I am just haphazardly laying down some of the colors. And I'm doing this because I want to use the die set that was included in the kit. And I want to have some leaves that are multi-tonal. And so I am just throwing down a bunch of color on here and mixing it up. And then I'll dry it, and I'm going to use my dies, and we will cut out some really beautiful leaves. So here we are. I've got it laid down on there. I'm doing the detail piece on this. So I've got all of my elements for my first card. I've just got some of that navy blue cardstock that was included in the kit, and I'm going to get it laid down on my base, and we'll just start building our card from there. It's good heavy cardstock, and I love the colors. They're very pretty, the cardstock colors in the kit. Now I got that lined up wrong, so I'm going to pull it off and start over. and we'll get it laid down on there. Now for this card, I'm basically using the elements that are in the kit. For the next card, I'm going to bring in some extra Love from Lizi products and have some fun with that. Now yesterday's card, I did use this twine and leafy strip, and I said on the video I wanted to save it so I could use it again. And when I got the elements for this card put together, I thought, oh, this calls for some more of that twine and leaves. And so I just took a 3-inch strip of panel there. I took some Prize Ribbon Distress Oxide on a brush, and I just inked up the sides of that pattern paper just to add a little, kind of a little shadiness to it. And then I die cut out with the back die piece blue for the leaves that I was going to add the watercolor to. And I also brought in a green and a yellow because we've got that in our background paper there. And I took that, some ink. I had some green ink that was left on my blending brush, and I just added it to the yellow, and then I took some of the blue and added it to the green leaf just to add some shading to those back leaves that I'm putting on there. And we're going to get them all glued down. We're going to pop up this 4th one just to add some dimension. And we've got us a really pretty card. I'm reaching for it so that I can see the sentiment. It says autumn breeze and falling leaves. And I backed that on some of that green paper just to kind of bring some more green in since we've got those leaves. And I contemplated for a minute using some of the jewels or the embellishments that are on there. There are some green glass leaves, but they've actually got a little hole in it so that you could kind of run some twine through it or some thread and create like a dangle. And so I decided to save that for another card in which I can use some of that gold twine that was included in the kit and maybe add those to it. So I might do that on Love from Lizi's channel. And so this will finish off this card. I think it's really pretty. Just a real fun fall card. Now here are my elements. I've got the couple, the cat, and the swag. And for this, like I said, I brought in some extra things. I cut the cinnamon apart. I brought in this border die from Love from Lizi, and I've got some scraps of paper that I'm using for this. And I'm going to basically use this darker yellow to lay underneath my scalloped floral edge there, just to add additional interest to it. And then we'll lay this down, and it kind of makes those flowers really pop. And so I'm going to get some glue on all the leafy and floral bits so that they'll lay down nicely, and I won't have to worry about them getting, you know, messed up if they catch on the envelope or anything like that. And then we'll just get it glued down. And this one's going to be kind of a busier card, but I think it's really pretty. So I'll get my panels laid down, and I noticed some of that mustard was showing behind there, so I snipped it a couple times and just lined it up so it would be even with my card base. And I brought in this beautiful floral paper here, and I think this honestly looks gorgeous just like this. I think you could leave it like that and you'd have a gorgeous floral note card that you could use for just about anything. But I'm going to bring in this die. This is a oval die from Love from Lizi. It's almost kind of like a, almost doily looking because it's got the lace on there. And it actually has a centerpiece, so you can die cut that out and have a frame if you want it. But I actually created a landing spot for my, my little scene that I'm going to create. And I'm going to bring in my watercolor images. And I did take my alcohol marker that matched the oval cardstock there, and colored in all of the white areas on this so that it would just blend in with my oval. And I'm going to put my scene down on here. So I'm going to pop up the happy couple, and I'm using Crisp Air, Golden Leaves, and Whispered Dreams because it kind of looks like maybe they're whispering some dreams as they walk along with their cat. And we'll just pop this up. And we'll get our little cat. We're going to just glue our little cat straight down. And we've got a real cute scene. Like I said, it's pretty busy, but I think it works. You have to let me know in the comment box below if you think it works or if I just got too carried away. I'm going to lay part of the sentiment on the doily, and then I'm going to realize that it's sticking up, and so I'm going to have to add a foam piece behind it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just grabbing one. I had some little black ones that are small squares that I could use. I'm just going to push that in there. Make sure that that lays down nicely. And we'll have to do the same thing with our Whispered Dreams part of the sentiment. And the sentiment was really long, and so it just made sense to cut it apart and to lay them side by side, and it would fit better on my card. So we're going to get that laid down there. I'm going to fuss with it a little bit because I'm not sure it's straight, trying to make it look a little bit straighter. And then that'll finish off our second card. So we've got 3 great cards so far that we've made with this kit. So I think it's really pretty and very interesting and all very different. I really appreciate you watching, and thanks for following along. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye now.